Hello and bonjour, and welcome to a very special video for fans of completely unpronounceable foreign words, because today we are on a mission to visit the village with the longest name in continental Europe. Which means first, I need to catch a train, and then second, I should probably explain where we're going. Now, as any proud Welsh person will tell you, like for example my mum, the longest place name in the whole of Europe is the 58-letter Welsh town of Llanfair Pwllgwyngyll Gogerich Windrobwll Llantysilio Gogogoch. But obviously that's not continental Europe, and also, if we're being extremely pedantic, it's not actually the real name of the town. Officially, it's just called Llanfair Pwllgwyngyll, which is only 20 letters long. So I guess we're asking two questions here. What is the longest place name on the continent, and what is the longest official place name in the whole of Europe? Well, on my right is a French train heading to eastern France, and on my left is a German train heading to Germany. And there is a very strong argument that says I've just got on the wrong one. Let's be clear, if you want the village with the longest name made from one single word, no spaces, no punctuation, just one single word, then you need to go to Germany, and specifically the tiny North German hamlet of Schmedersworte Westerdeich. I think it may actually have more letters than houses. Anyway, those 26 letters are a record for any town or village in continental Europe. The thing is though, that doesn't make it the longest name of a place. After all, places don't have to be towns or villages, they can be rivers or regions or any sort of place really. So what if you just want to go to the place with the longest name? Well, in that case, there is only one country to go to, and that is Finland. Because up in the north of Finland, you will find an area of wetlands and bogs which goes by the name of, goodness me, Ataritsi Puteritsi Puolalautatsianka. And with a grand total of 35 letters, that smashes the record of Schmedersworte Westerdeich. Alright, so if we could have gone to a rainy village in North Wales, a rainy village in North Germany, or a bog region in Finland, why would you choose to come to the Champagne region of France? Now, I've got off the train in a place called Vitry-le-François, which, as you can see, has two hyphens. But wait until you see where we're actually going. Let's be honest, France doesn't really do long words. The French language simply doesn't allow long words in the way that German, Finnish or Welsh do. But what France does have is hyphens, and they are not afraid to use them. If a place is named after a saint, it gets a hyphen. If a place has a distinguishing geographic feature, it gets a hyphen. If a place has the same name as another place and you need to tell them apart, then usually they both get at least two hyphens. And finally, if two historic villages merge together, then you keep both names and add a hyphen. And there's loads of other examples out there, but I think that covers everything on this map. I should say that although you see all those hyphens on the map, you don't always see them in real life. For example, street signs often leave them out. But luckily, through the magic of YouTube, I can put them back in. And hopefully you're beginning to see where I'm going with this. Because if France has so many place names with hyphens in them, and I've already said that when two historic villages merge together, then they usually keep both names and add a hyphen, what happens if two places that already had hyphens end up merging together? Well, it is not uncommon for a French village to have a name made of 5 words and 4 hyphens. Some even go as far as 5 hyphens, and there are 2 villages in France that have 6 hyphens. But there is one that goes even further. This little village ahead of me is called Saint-Rémy-en-Bouzemont. Pretty decent effort, that's 20 letters and 3 hyphens. Or at least, that's what it used to be called. In 1836, the village of Saint-Rémy-en-Bouzemont was officially merged, by law, with the neighbouring village of Saint-Genès. And then, just in case that wasn't quite enough, they also threw in the nearby hamlet of Isson. And that gave us, let me just put the hyphens back in, the 38 letters and 7 hyphens of Saint-Rémy-en-Bouzemont, Saint-Genès et Isson, the village with the longest name in France and the world record for hyphens. The question is though, is that the longest place name in continental Europe? Well, there's a place in Spain that also has 38 letters, but with spaces instead of hyphens, and there's another place in Spain that unofficially has 39 letters, but officially only has 10. There again, there are places in Russia with official names that can reach up to 63 letters, but no one outside of bureaucratic officialdom is ever going to use them. And that is a problem, because the truth is, you could say pretty much exactly the same thing here. It's just a legal official name made up by bureaucrats. It's not really the name of the village. And if you ask any of the locals, they would just say, I live in Saint-Rémy-en-Bouzemont, or even just Saint-Rémy. So to conclude, we've now got some places where I'm saying, well, those are only unofficial names, they don't really count, and others where I'm saying, well, those are only official names, they don't really count. And at this point, the entire video collapses into one big pedantic paradox. Sorry about that. Anyway, let me know what you think should count as the longest place name in Europe, because apparently I can't tell you the answer. And meanwhile, if you'd like to visit the beautiful Saint-Rémy-en-Bouzemont, Saint-Genès et Isson, it is roughly 12 kilometres from the nearest railway station at Vitry-le-François. But it's extremely flat around here and the roads are very quiet, so it's perfect for a cycle ride, a run or a hike. There's even a long distance path you can use if you prefer to avoid the roads. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.